Thank you.
Yep.
So today I'm going to talk about a few words. I'm going to use a few words to talk about words. Words can be powerful messengers as long as you don't put too many of them together. Words are very powerful. So my talk today is called Be Impeccable with Your Word. This is one of the 4 agreements. The first of the 4 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. That's the title of the book, The 4 Agreements. He is a Toltec shaman of the Eagle Knight tradition. The Toltecs were a thousands of year old civilization in central Mexico that were taken over by the Aztecs 1,200 years ago. Anyway, quite a while ago. And there were some shamans who kept the traditions, and they still keep them today. Don Miguel is unique in that he began as the youngest of 13 children, and his parents were hoping that he would continue on with their Toltec tradition, but he went to school and became a doctor, as his 4 brothers had, or probably more than 4 brothers out of 13 children had become doctors. So he brings a unique perspective into his life as a surgeon. He had a terrible accident, and he was able to experience himself as pure awareness outside of his body. And as he recovered, he began to realize and remember that his life was not the life that he really wanted. He was not living the life that he wanted to live. He was not living with his heart. He was living with his mind. So he went back to his home and began to study the Toltec traditions. And he's shared them with us in 8 books, more than 8 books. But the most influential book was his first one, The 4 Agreements. And so I'm going to start by telling you the 4 agreements. Each one of them relates to the other. And the first one is be impeccable with your word. Speak the truth. Number 2 is don't take anything personally. This is my personal favorite. Nothing others do is because of you. Number 3 is don't make assumptions. Ask questions. Seek answers. Don't make assumptions. And the 4th one, which I love, do your best. Do your best. So let's talk about the power of your word. I have a quote by Rumi. Silence is the language of God. All else is poor translations. So we'll go on. We shall go on with our poor translations. Speak the truth. Speak the truth. Say what you mean and mean what you say. As I was doing the writing that I needed to do before coming here, I was preparing for about 3 weeks. I started being aware, because this is where we start. We have to start with our awareness. Are you aware of the words that you speak? And I swear, every day, every single day, I said things that I regretted. Like, why did I say that? Why did I argue? Why did I argue this? Why did I accuse someone of making assumptions? It's like taking the rules and using them against myself. And part of what Don Miguel says to us is don't say things that you don't want to have power, because your words are very powerful. And a loud voice is powerful, but it conveys less truth than most other ways of communication. We were indoctrinated from very young to not listen to our hearts, to not pay attention to what the truth for us was inside of us, because we were taught how to live in this society. We were taught how to lie and to not communicate the truth. And the mind is a wonderful tool, but it was never meant to be in charge. It's a wonderful tool, and we need our minds. But our hearts are what's in charge. And if you listen to your heart, you will find that you speak words in a much more conscious way. So when you're not making assumptions, you're listening, you're asking questions, and you're listening. Another point that he makes is not to speak against yourself. And it's one thing that I think we do. I know I was noticing how frequently I speak against myself. I start early in the morning by looking in the mirror. And my hair is a mess, and I'm always making a comment about, what can I do with this today? We are amusing creatures. We absolutely have to have a sense of humor to survive. We have to have a sense of humor to survive. And the truth comes through our humor. I believe that. Lots of truth comes through our humor. Avoid speaking against ourselves. Avoid thinking against ourselves. Imagine that. What would happen if we stopped thinking against ourselves? If we stopped saying, oh, I can't do this. Or, oh, I don't think this can be done. Or, I don't think you can do this. Or all those little messages, all that self-talk that we give ourselves every day. So if we were to say what we mean, we would be much more positive. We'd be much more helpful to ourselves. We'd be able to consciously lift ourselves up. And that is the truth. That is the truth of ourselves. When you get in trouble, you can lie there in your own hell, or you can make an effort, move forward, move upward in your thoughts, move towards spirit, ask for help. I realize that all this time we are in fact doing our best, even though it doesn't seem like it. And much of my self-talk is, I could do better, I could do better. And I'm not sure if that is is a good way to talk to myself or not such a good way to talk to myself. Because that's not what's going to lift me up. Lift me up to the light. We are light. And we see light in each other. And that's a great gift, to see that light. It's a great gift. And are you looking for it? Or are you just seeing what you're seeing? Somebody said to me the other day, what you see is what you get. No! What you see may be what you believe, but it's not what you get. What you perceive is what you believe. What you believe is what you perceive. And we all need to remember that we are light, and the light is shining from us, through us, within us. So, he asks us to also avoid gossip. And I noticed that this is one of the things that I was doing in this time that I was trying to be very conscious of my word. I was gossiping, and I noticed that it would be better to stop. But becoming aware of it is the first step. Being aware of it is the first step. Because when you're aware of it, you absolutely choose better. You absolutely choose better. So a lot of our lives we're going around trying not to be aware of all the things we are in fact aware of. And that's not helping us either. I spend a lot of time eating my words. I spend a lot of time playing solitaire. And, there's something good to be said for that. It's just not a great way to spend a lot of time. It's a wonderful way not to confront things, to play games. So I want to read a couple quotations. One, I don't have the person. Words can be powerful messengers. Oh, I already read that, as long as you don't have too many of them together. And that's just too many. Words are pale shadows of forgotten names. Words can light fires in the minds of us. Words can bring tears to the hardest hearts. And that is said to us by Patrick Rothfuss. And as I finish, I want to remind you, you are not your words. You are not your words. You are not your body. You are not the face that you present to the world. You are infinite joy. You are infinite spirit. You are infinite silence and infinite light. But we all have bodies. We all have words. We all have joy. If you're still alive, you are proof that God is still working on himself, herself, itself. If you're still alive, you're accepting the challenge. Remember that you are heaven sent, and your words are heaven sent. And your stories, all of your dramas, are also heaven sent, because we are just absolutely not quite finished here on earth. And And now it's your turn.